Let's talk about the broader markets, and you have the mid-cap index that's just about flat at this juncture, and the small-cap index, which is down about 0.5% or thereabouts at this point, or 1/3% or thereabouts. Let's talk about banks, though, and the Nifty Bank is currently trading with cuts of just about 0.2% or thereabouts, and it's going to be interesting to watch how some of these names react over the course of today and, of course, in the coming days, as the liquidity scenario is something that is developing. It's still in deficit, remember, and the RBI is going to take all of the measures that it expects it will need to in order to maintain durable liquidity, is what the Reserve Bank of India Governor Sanjay Malhotra had to say in his first address as Reserve Bank Governor. We're joined today by Sameer Dalal of Natvarlal and Sons Stockbrokers, as well as Kushal Gandhi, who's technical analyst at Stocksbox. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking the time as always. Sameer, you were probably anticipating this, as were a lot of other people. Do you have any specific banks that you're looking at that will immediately look to benefit from this rate cut? I know a lot of them have been going a little slow on the unsecured side, which is where the real credit growth has been over the last year. So what are you looking for in the banking space?
So, the banking space, the stocks that we've identified and we discussed on your channel don't change. So we continue to like the likes of HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank, IDFC First Bank in the private side. And on the PSU side, Bank of Baroda, even though they didn't have the best of numbers, I mean, if you look at it, the pain points are over. We believe the growth opportunity will arise, and they are working on that. And that valuation comparatively are quite reasonable, so that remains agnostic. So that doesn't change anything. Yes, it was an expected, I think, to a large extent that the rate cut would come. And the government is already working on the liquidity. Before the rate cut, they already announced 150,000 crores of liquidity, which is slowly getting infused into the system. So as that continues to happen, hopefully the rate transmissions will happen. It's not going to happen immediately. But when the governor cuts, one thing everyone got to remember, that when the governor is indicating of a cut in the interest rates, he wants that transmission to eventually happen. So he will ensure that there's enough liquidity in the system. Does it change anything for the banking stocks right away? No, it doesn't. But yes, what we can hope is that the growth momentum, because lower interest rates heading down probably can drive some amount of growth momentum from companies who want to put in capex, thinking that, look, if interest rates are headed down, this is the time to start investing, because growth will come back in a stronger way. So maybe from all those points of view, hopefully the growth picks up for the banking space as well.
Right, Sameer, just to add to that, IIFL Capital did come out with its first cut with respect to what impact this repo rate cut will bring on banks. Their analysis shows that NIMs will be impacted by 5 to 10 basis points, and they see relatively lower impact on the PSU banks, and they believe that impact of 25 basis points rate cut is already built in. So nothing much with respect to, Alex, the stock performance is what, IIFL Capital builds in. Let's move on to our first query for the day then. We have this queries from Madan, who's from Hyderabad. He's holding Vatek Vabag 200 shares at 1550 a piece, and he's sitting at a loss of, if we can pull up the number, there you go, 31,000, so 32,000 odd rupees, and he wants to know whether he should hold for the next 3 months to see some profits at least. Kushal, is that the right reading on the charts right now for Vatek Vabag?
Well, yes, it's a positive view on Wabak. I think the declines, they're showing some now minimal resilience. So I think that's a positive development. And over the last couple of trading sessions, you'll see, it's undergoing some nice accumulation phase. So the risk reward is also quite favoring, just in case he wants to average at the current market price. So I'm positive on the stock, hold it with a stop loss near 1292. And my target on the upside is 1683.